Hey everyone, and welcome back to the channel. Today, we're tackling something we all face but often dread: setbacks. That moment when things just don't go according to plan. It can be frustrating, demotivating, and honestly, it can make you want to just throw in the towel. But what if I told you that these moments of failure are actually your greatest opportunities for growth? What if setbacks are not stop signs, but secret roadmaps to success? Stick around, because by the end of this video, you're going to see every stumble, every fall, and every no not as a defeat, but as a powerful tool for your comeback. Let's be real for a second. We live in a world that glorifies success. We see highlight reels on social media, stories of overnight sensations, and it creates this illusion that the path to achieving our goals is a straight, upward line. But that's just not reality. The real journey is messy. It's full of detours, bumps, and sometimes full-blown crashes. The key difference between those who eventually succeed and those who don't is how they handle these crashes. Do they stay in the wreckage, or do they get out, look at what went wrong, and figure out how to build a better vehicle for the next leg of the journey? Think about any skill you've ever learned. Riding a bike, you probably fell a dozen times. Learning a new language, you definitely made some hilarious grammar mistakes. Playing a video game, you had to learn the boss's attack pattern by getting defeated over and over again. In all these cases, the setback, falling, making a mistake, losing a life wasn't the end. It was data. It was feedback. Each fall taught you how to balance better. Each grammatical error taught you the correct structure. Each defeat showed you when to dodge and when to attack. This is the fundamental mindset shift we need to make. A setback is not a judgment on your worth. It's simply feedback on your current strategy. So, how do we actually do this? How do we turn that gut-wrenching feeling of failure into a constructive, actionable plan? The first step is to detach your emotions from the outcome. This is the hardest part. I know. When a project fails or you get rejected, it feels personal. Your initial reaction might be frustration, sadness, or anger. Acknowledge these feelings. It's okay to be upset for a little while. Give yourself a moment, but don't live there. Don't let that emotional reaction cloud your judgment. The goal is to move from "I'm a failure" to "this attempt failed, and now I need to figure out why." This small change in language is incredibly powerful. It separates your identity from the event. Once you've created that mental space, it's time to become a detective. Your mission is to investigate the crime scene of your setback. Get out a notebook or open a document and start asking some honest questions. First, what was the goal? Be specific. What were you trying to achieve? Second, what was the result? Again, be specific. What exactly happened that was different from your intended goal? Third, and this is the crucial part, what were the steps you took? Write down your process from start to finish. Don't leave anything out, no matter how small it seems. Now, with this information laid out, you can start analyzing the gap between your plan and the reality. This is where you find the gold. Ask yourself, where did things start to go off track? Was it a flaw in the initial plan? Did I lack a specific skill or piece of knowledge? Did I underestimate the time or resources needed? Was there an external factor I didn't account for? Be brutally honest with yourself, but not cruel. You're not looking to place blame. You're looking to understand the mechanics of the failure. For example, let's say you launched a new product and it didn't sell. The emotional response is, "Nobody wants my product. This was a terrible idea." The detective's response is different. The goal was to sell 100 units. The result was selling 10 units. Now, let's analyze the process. Was the marketing message unclear? Did you target the wrong audience? Was the price point too high? Did the website have a technical glitch during checkout? By breaking it down, you might discover that your ads were reaching teenagers when your product was designed for new parents. That's not a personal failure. That's a strategic error. And you know what? A strategic error is fixable. You now have invaluable data. You know exactly what asterisk, not asterisk, to do next time. You can refine your ad targeting, adjust your messaging, and try again with a much higher chance of success. This process of refining your strategy based on feedback is called an iterative loop. It's the engine of all innovation. Think of scientists. They form a hypothesis, run an experiment, and analyze the results. If the experiment fails to prove the hypothesis, they don't quit science. They say, "Okay, that didn't work. What does this result tell us? Let's adjust the hypothesis and run a new experiment." This is the exact same mindset we need to apply to our personal and professional goals. Every failed launch is an experiment. Every rejection is data. Every setback is just one iteration in a longer process of discovery. Let's also talk about refining skills. Sometimes, the feedback from a setback isn't about your strategy, but about your current skill level. Maybe you gave a presentation and it didn't land well. The feedback isn't necessarily that your idea was bad, but perhaps your public speaking skills need some work. You stumbled over your words, you didn't make eye contact, or you couldn't answer questions confidently. This is fantastic feedback. It's highlighting a specific area for improvement. Instead of feeling defeated, you can now take targeted action. You could join a Toastmasters club, take an online course on public speaking, or practice in front of a mirror. The setback has given you a clear, actionable goal: improve my presentation skills. Without that stumble, you might have continued on, unaware of a weakness that was holding you back. The beauty of this approach is that it transforms your relationship with challenges. Instead of fearing failure, you start to see it as a necessary and even valuable part of the process. You become more resilient because you know that even if you fall, you'll get back up smarter than before. You'll become more creative because you're constantly forced to find new solutions to problems. This is what builds true, uncheckable confidence. Not the confidence that you'll never fail, but the confidence that you can handle any failure that comes your way. So, let's recap the process. Step 1. Acknowledge your emotions, but don't let them take over. Step 2. Become a detective and objectively analyze what happened. What was the plan? What was the result? And what were the steps you took? Step 3. Identify the gap. Was it a flaw in your strategy or a gap in your skills? Step 4. Create a new, refined plan of action based on this feedback. Step 5. Execute the new plan. This is the iterative loop of success. It's a cycle of action, feedback, and refinement. I challenge you to try this with the next setback you face, no matter how big or small. Maybe a recipe you tried didn't turn out right. Don't just throw it out. Ask why. Too much salt, oven too hot. You'll be a better cook next time. Maybe you didn't get a job you interviewed for. Ask for feedback if you can. If not, analyze your own performance. Were there questions you struggled with? You can prepare better for the next one. By consistently applying this mindset, you will find that your progress just speed up. It becomes smarter, more targeted, and far more sustainable. Setbacks are not the end of your story. They are the plot twist that make your eventual success that much more meaningful. Thank you so much for spending this time with me today. I hope this reframes how you look at the inevitable challenges on your journey. If you found this helpful, please give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you don't miss our future content. I'd love to hear from you in the comments below. Share a time a setback taught you a valuable lesson. Let's learn from each other. Until next time, keep learning, keep growing, and embrace the feedback.